Good evening. In previous session, we have seen about some of the control statements. Now we are going to see some more examples for loop. So in yesterday's class, we have seen some examples. Now I'm going to tell two more examples for this one, so that you will get some clarity on this for loop. So if I'm going to give in previous sessions, I have shown you some examples on to find, for example, to find smallest, for example, smallest of two numbers. So we have seen this example, but now I want to take n number of values. So if I want to take n values and I want to find smallest, or I want to find largest of the given n numbers. So now I'm going to write a program to find the smallest or to find the largest of the given n values by using the for loop. Okay, this is the program I'm going to write. Right. So right. So now first thing what I have to do means, first I have to take a value. That means what I want to store smallest value in one variable. So for example, I'm going to take smallest equal to I'm going to take none. Okay, I'm going to take none. That means what? Smallest is a variable which does not contains anything. Okay, first I'm going to take that. Now I want to take n number of values, so I want to read from the keyboard. So what I have to do? So I am going to take it as a list. So to read from the keyboard, what I have to do? I have to input the data. So input of, I want what? N number of values. So just I will write what? Enter the values. Enter the values. Now I want to convert this group of values into list. So by using which function I can convert it? Eval. Okay. So for this I am going to write eval function. Right. Now list of elements has been taken into a variable called as list. So now what is the task? I want to find the smallest element among the given list of elements. So I will write what I have to take. First I have to take one value and I have to compare with one another. Okay, and so on, all the elements should be compared, and finally I should get what? Smallest element. Right. So for, where are your values? Your values is in list. So that I have taken this way. That means what? For every value in list, that will be stored in the value, and that value will be compared with some other thing. For example, now see, so initially what I have taken, smallest equal to none. Now I am going to take smallest equal to, I want to take what? First value I am going to take. Smallest equal to what? Value. That means whatever the value, for example, in first loop, first value is going to be stored, because initially there are no values. For example, I will show you here. Now see here, for example, I am having list of elements 10, 5, 23 and some 18 here. Okay, so first what I have to do? First I have to store this in somewhere, that is called as value. For example, I am going to store it. Later what I have to do? I want to compare this 10 into, sorry, this 10 with some value. For example, initially I am going to take that one as what? Sorry, I'm going to, let us know the value as 10 here. So I'm going to store value where? In smallest. So smallest equal to value. Now I want to compare the smallest with what? Okay, I want to compare it. That is, first I have to, sorry, first I have to compare here. If smallest equal to none, that means that initially it is equal to none only. So as it is a first value, smallest will be equal to none. Then I am going to place the value into smallest. So don't worry, I will explain once again. Now see, okay, let us consider these are the values present in a list. So each and every list is going to be taken into a value. That means what? Here I am going to write what? For value in list. Value in list. Okay, so first what happens here? List first value is what? 10. Now in value, what we are going to have? 10. So is smallest equal to none? Yes. Initially what I have taken? smallest equal to none, so that this condition is satisfied. So that first value is going to be stored in what? Smallest. I don't know what about remaining values, but I know first value I will compare, I will consider it as a smallest only. So 10. Now let us consider again, the loop will be continued. Now second value is what? 5. Now value will be what? 5. Now come here. If smallest equal to none, is smallest equal to none? No. The value of smallest is what? 10. Then what I have to write? Some other condition I have to write. If I have to compare what? Whatever the new value that is generated and whatever the value already present in smallest has to be compared. What is the value now? 5 is there. Where 5 is present? In value. So that I have to compare what? I have to check whether value is less than smallest. If it is smallest, for example, if the value that is present in value is smaller than smallest element, that is 10, then I will make what? Smallest equal to value. Smallest equal to value. That means now what happens here? I have taken two elements. Now already in smallest what is there? 10, because initially no elements are there. As it is the first element, I am considering it as a smallest element and I have stored in smallest. Next value is what? 5. When compared to 5 and 10, which one is smallest? 5 is smallest. So in smallest what should be there? 5 should be there. So that what I am doing, if value is less than smallest, in smallest what is there? 10 is there. What is the value now? I am considering 5. So when compared to when I am going to compare value and smallest is what? Smallest is greater than value. Then I am going to do what? Smallest value is 5. Now in smallest what will be there? 5 will be there. Okay. Next, if I compare 20, what happens? Is smallest equal to none? It is not. This case will not be executed. This case will be executed only for first time. Okay. Now else if value less than smallest, that means what? Is this value is less than what is the value now? 20. For example, value is what? 20. Is 20 less than 5? Now smallest is having what? 5. So is 20 less than 5? No. This loop, we will not enter into this loop. Next what? 3. Is 3 less than 5? Yes. So it will enter into here. Now you know what happens? Value is 3. Value is what? 3. And what? 3 will, here value is what? 3. Is 3 less than 5? Yes. So it will enter into this one and the value is going to be placed in smallest. Next 18. We will not enter into this one. So finally in smallest what we are going to have? 3. So finally after we will come out of these loops and I am going to write what? I will print the value. Smallest element is where it is. Smallest element is in smallest. I will write here some smallest. So we will get the answer. Just here what we have to observe is how if is going to work, how else if is going to work, and how for loop is going to execute. So now you got a small idea. So now see what I have to check first. If smallest equal to none, when smallest will be none? Only for the first case it will be none. If smallest equal to none, then what I have to do? First I have to place some base initial value in smallest. So now it is a first thing. Next what I have to do? If it is not the case, else if, already you know how else if is going to work. In yesterday's class we have seen some examples. Else if value less than smallest, then what should be happen? Then smallest equal to value. If you want to take any word, what we can say, variable names, you can take it, no problem. Okay. Now finally our concept is completed. After going to do all the after comparing all the elements in the list, finally the value which is smaller in the list will be present in smallest. So I want to print the element, smallest element in the list is, okay, where it is in smallest. So comma in smallest. This is the program for that. So just I will explain once again. So listen, right? What happens here? First, it is asking what smallest is none. So I will write here smallest. Smallest is a variable. It is having a none. That means what? For example, nothing is there. Okay. So next, what happens? I am asking user to enter some values, and I'm going to evaluate it and in the form of list. That means what, user has to give some element in the form of list. So here what happens, I'm going to give some numbers 10, 3, 5, 2, 30 for example. These are the values I'm going to give. Now in list, what we are having, in list we are having what, 10, 3, 5, 2 and 30. Okay, this step is completed. Now what we are going to do here, for every value, that means what I have to compare all the values, so that for every value in list I'm going to do all these things. So first value is what, first value is 10. Now 10 is going to be stored in value. Now see, value is going to have what, which value now, it is 10. Okay, now if smallest equal to null, let us consider, here I will write none first. Okay, here what happens, none. So is smallest equal to none or not? Yes. So what happens, smallest equal to value. That means what, it is going to be removed and it is replaced with 10. Okay, for example, I'm going to it in this way. Generally what happens, it is going to create one more object. Okay, don't will not I'm not going to draw for everything, just for example I'm going to consider here. Now this is the case. So first element is completed. Next what happens, it will not go to else if, because if and else if are there, only one statement will be executed, either if or else if. So if is executed, so that it will not go to else if. Now again it goes to what, again it will come to for loop. Now second value, what is the second value in this one, 3. Now 3 is going to be stored in value. Now 10 is going to be overridden and 3 is going to be written here. Now what happens, if smallest equal to null, is smallest equal to none? No. So that we will not enter into this one. Don't worry, we will not enter into this one for any elements, only for first element we will enter into this if condition. Now else if value less than smallest, is the value, that is 3, is less than 10 or not? Yes. So that now what I have to tell, the smallest element is 3, so that I have to write what, smallest value equal to what, sorry, smallest equal to what, value. So this will be overridden with 3. That means what, in first two iterations what I have done, first two values are compared here. Okay, right. Now what happened, third time what happens, value is what, 5, value is what, 5. Now we will not anyway this is not going to be executed because smallest is not equal to none. Here what is there now, 3 is there. Else if value is less than smallest, is value is less than smallest, that means what, is 5 is less than 3? No. So that we will not enter into this one. Again loop is going to be continued. Now next value is what, 5 is completed, next value is 2. That means what, value is what, 2. Now 2. Next one, this is not going to be satisfied. Now value less than smallest, smallest is what, 3. Value is what, 2. Is 2 less than 3? Yes. Is 2 less than 3? Yes. Now what I'm going to do, smallest equal to value. So that in smallest what happens, we are going to place 2. Completed. Next loop, last one. Okay, now what I'm going, 30 is there, so I'm placing 30 into value. So here 30 is there. Now okay, come to here, else if value less than smallest, is value, that is 30 is less than 2? No. So that we will not enter into this else if elif statement. Now what happens, again it will go to here, no values are present in the list, all are completed. So that we will exit from this, see here, for loop. This comes under for loop. We are going to exit from this one. Then what happens, it will come here. Now what it is going to print, smallest element in the list is smallest. What is there in smallest? 2. So output will be 2. So see once, generally see once, 10, 3, 5, 2, 30, which one is smallest? 2. Okay, so in this way for loop is going to work. Let us see what will be the output. By taking 2 or 3 cases we can understand. Now see, I am going to store the program, save the program. So okay, the program is for what, smallest. So smallest dot py. Okay, right. Now I'm going to execute this program. Now it is asking for values. So I know that I have written in the form of list. I want in the form of list. So that 10 comma For example, 3 comma 20 comma 5 comma 1 comma, for example, okay, 2 comma 8 comma 1. Okay, this is the case. Just if I press enter, what happens? Automatically it is going to give me what? Smallest element of the list is 1. So one more example, one more time I will take the values. For example, I will take 10, 20, 30, 5. Next one is 25. Next one is 4. Next one is 3, for example. Okay. For example, here I will take 4 and here I will take 1. So what is the element that has to be printed? It has to print 1 only. So see what happened? Again, value is 1 is printed. Otherwise, okay. Once again, last time I will take the values. Just I will take 2 or 3 values. 10 comma 20 comma 5 comma 30 comma 4 comma 23. What happened? Answer is 4. Okay. This is about the smallest value in our list of elements. Now same type of program I will write in a different way. Anyway, we have find out the smallest number. Now I want to find the largest of the given numbers. So here what I have taken some none. So here I will take some other value, like I can also take largest equal to -1, for example. That means what? You can take any value, but when you are going to compare, then you have to compare with this value. If I take none also, no problem. Okay, but just here what I am taking, largest equal to -1. Okay, now I want to find what? Largest of the given list of elements. Same program, nothing is different there. Just what I have to do, eval function. Internally what I have to do, input of enter the list of elements I will write. Enter the list of elements. So that list of elements will be taken here. After that, what I have to do, I have to compare all the elements in the given list. So in which way I have to compare? So for all the elements in the list, so that what I have to take, for from where I have to take, from the list. For example, from list I am going to take for every value in the list. So that I have to take what? For I in list. Or if you want to take clearly, just in before example I have taken value, now I will take some num. Anything you can take, no problem. Okay, now what I have to do, for every value in the list, what I have to do, I want to find out the largest number. So what I have to do, if num, whatever the value you are going to take is larger, that means what? Here I'm going to consider only positive values. Then what I have to do, same thing, largest equal to num. Largest equal, because I already have taken what here, -1, so that numerical can be compared. But in before case, what I have taken, none I have taken. So none and the numericals cannot be compared. So in this case, directly in one step I can complete the program. So now what happens, if it is the case, what happens, directly I'm going to print the output. So you can take any case, no problem. Largest value of the list is where it is present, in largest, completed. So if I take n number of values, not only one, if you take n number of values also, you will get the correct output. So let us execute once. See, it is asking for list of elements. So I will take some 10, 5, 4, sorry, okay, 3, 56, 8, 16, 89, 21, 58, for example. And okay, I will take up to here. But what should be answer? Answer should be 89. So we got it. Just if we practice these type of small programs, later we can write a somewhat large programs. So for every concept, I'm going to give 2 or 3 examples. Okay. So this is about a for loop. Okay. Now I want to discuss about a while loop. I want to discuss about while loop. So if you are going to see for, what we have seen there, for, sorry, okay, for I in some iterable, that means what? I will take some sequence, for example, sequence or iterable object. Then what happens, some statements are going to be executed here. That means these statements are going to be executed how many times? based on the sequence or based on the iterable object. That means here let us consider in this sequence 10 values are there. How many times it is going to execute how many times the statements are going to be executed? 10. For example, in a list I am having some 4 items. How many times these statements are going to be executed? 4 times. That means what? Here we are based on the sequence or iterable, we are going to execute the for loop. Number of times is dependent on this iterable object. But now I am going for a statement called as while. This is also a iterative statement. What is that? The while statement. While means what? See, for example, while, if you are, for example, I'm going to consider while some number is less than 10. Okay, I will take that example so that you will get a clarity. So while is also one iterative statement. Here I'm going to consider. First, I will write the syntax of the while. While I have to write what? Some expression. If this expression is true, then it will enter into this while loop. And inside the while loop, if you are going to write n number of statements, those statements will be executed. When these statements will be executed? If the expression returns true. If the expression returns false, these statements will not be executed. Okay. How many times these statements will be executed? Until this expression is true, these statements will be executed. But in for what? Based on the values in iterable object, for statement will be executed or for loop can be executed. But here what happens? While true, that means if this condition is true forever, for example, if this condition is true forever, these statements will execute forever. That means what? Infinite loop. Okay, just I will take one small example to make you understand. Now here one small 2-line program I'm going to take. X equal to 1. So while, for example, while x less than 10, some value, while x less than 10, print high. First, one thing you have to understand is what is the x value? 1. Is 1 is less than 10? Yes. Is 1 is less than 10? Yes. So it will print high. Once again it is going to a while loop. Is 1 less than 10? Yes. So it will execute what? High. Once again it will go to while, and so on. It will execute how many times? It will execute n number of times. Okay, it will execute how many times? N number of times, because here there is no while loop is going to execute until what time? Until the expression is true. Every time this expression is going to be true. I want to make it as a false. If you want to make it as a false, we can go to some other case. First, I want to show you that while loop will be executed until the condition is true. This condition is always true because x value is not going to be changed here. So the statement will be executed forever. So what I will see here? So what I have to do? I have to disturb this one by pressing some Control Z or Control C. Okay, interrupt. I have to interrupt it. Okay, so that it will stop. Right now, what I have to do, sir? I want to get the values up to what can I say? 10 times I want to get, sir. For example, 10 times, sir. Okay. So what I have to do? Just I have to write x plus equal to 1. That means for every time one value is going to be incremented, then automatically once x value is going to be more than 10, then this condition is going to be failed. For example, x equal to 1 here. First time what happens? 1 less than or equal to 10. Correct. It will enter into this one high. This statement also will be executed. This meaning is what? X equal to x plus 1. That means what? X equal to 1 plus 1, 2. Now again 2 less than or equal to 10, yes, high, and so on it will do. And if the x value becomes 11, what happens? It is 11 is less than or equal to 10? No, the condition is going to be failed. Then will it enter into this while loop? No. That means here this particular program is going to work only for 10 times. No, sorry, okay, only for 10 times. Until this condition is true, it will be executed. If once the condition is going to be false, automatically it will come out of the while loop. Let us see here. So how many times? 1 minute, I am not saved, I think. Okay, 1 minute. Here x less than or equal to 10. Okay. Print high x equal to x plus 1. Okay, sorry. This is what x equal to plus 1 I have written. So x plus equal to 1 I have to write. Okay. Now see. Now what happens? It is going to print only 10 times. You can observe here. It is going to print only 10 times. So already you know what is meant by x plus equal to 1. What happens if I write x plus equal to 1? It is nothing but what? X equal to x plus 1. First time why it is not executed? Unfortunately, I have written this one. What is the meaning of this one? It is nothing but 1 only. Plus 1 is nothing but 1. It is going to, every time I am making x as a 1. So again it goes to what? For loop. While there x less than 10 is 1 less than 10. Yes. So that it has continued. So what we have to write? X plus equal to 1. So generally in our C, C++ and Java, what we are going to write? X plus plus. But what happens in our Python? We are not having this increment or decrement concept. Okay, right. This is about a small example of while. So now I will take one more example. So one thing you have to observe that if the condition is true until the condition is false, this while loop is going to be executed. If the condition is true forever, then what happens? It will go to infinite loop. That means what? It's go on executing. You may get one doubt that, sir, if I leave my computer for half an hour, what happens, sir? It will go on executes. Then when it is going to stop? While we are going to execute some program, internally some memory is going to be created for that particular Python program. If that memory is going to be filled, automatically it will give us an error that memory is full. Then it is going to be stop. Until that, it is not going to stop. We can say it as a infinite loop. Okay. So now I'm going to consider one more small example. Already I have taken what sum of numbers, so I will not take that example. So general example I'm going to consider now. Okay, general example, that is what? Username and password. So what happens? For any login I require what? Username. Okay, for example, I will take first one small example before going to this username and password. I want to write an examination. Okay, so that in my center, in my room, only 6 students are there. How many students are there? 6 students are there. So that their names are, for example, Shiva, Hari, Ramu, or I will take roll numbers. Okay, roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here, how many members can enter into my room? Only these 6 roll numbers can enter into my room. So here I have to check before going to enter into this room. This is a room, exam hall. So here in my exam hall, only 6 students are there. So first roll number 1 will come to here. So what here I have to check? So whether this roll number is allocated in this room or not. Okay, I will check and I will allow him. Okay. Next 2 came, no problem. 3, 4, 5, 6, no problem. If any other number comes here, any other roll number comes here, what I have to say? Your room is not here. For example, your room is not this, or your room is not here. For example, this is the statement I have to give. So this can be made by our while loop, no problem. Just I will write a small code for that. Okay. So see, first I have to ask for what? Roll number. So roll number equal to, I want in the form of integer. So that I have to write int of input of enter your roll number. Otherwise, tell your roll number. Tell your roll number. Okay. Right. Now he is going to tell the roll number. Now I want to check that roll number. While I want to take a while condition, because we are seeing the example for while only. While roll number, that means what? Here I'm going to take only roll number only. So if roll number not equal, okay, I will take equal to what can I take here? Okay, 1. Okay, for example, I will take 1, or so here, sorry, I will not take this because everything has to be written here by writing or. Just I will take one name. Okay, I want to enter into my home. Okay, so that my name, if my name is given there, then only I have to enter into that room. For example, tell your name. Tell your name, for example. So my name is Shiva, for example, so that I am going to give name for this one. Just if I say name, if it is correct, then only I have to enter. Otherwise, it's so on, it is going to ask me. Okay. So if your name not equal to Shiva, then what it has to tell? Go on, it will ask you until your name is Shiva. If you are not going to give you Shiva, it will not allow you to enter into that one. Okay. Now see, again it will ask for what? Print. Same statement it is going to ask. Enter, tell your name. Tell your correct name, I will write. Correct name. Right. Right. If it is the case, what happens? It will go to print of welcome Shiva, for example. Welcome Shiva. This is the program I want to write. So here what happens? If you type Shiva, then only it will tell you welcome Shiva. Otherwise, it is go on asking the tell your correct name, tell your correct name. Right, now see. So what happens here? It is asking tell your name. I say my name as Hari. So it is what? 1 minute. Okay, sorry. Here I have converted it to int. We should not convert this one as a int because it is a string type. Okay, right, now see. So it is asking for what? Tell your name. I am going to give some wrong name. Oh, it is going go on infinite loop. 1 minute. I will stop that infinite loop here. What it has to tell? Just it has to check whether my name is Shiva or not. So first I have to take what? Name as empty. 1 minute. Net. First I will take empty here. So I will ask tell your name. Okay, tell your correct name. So it asks me, oh sorry, 1 minute. While name not equal to Shiva. Yes, okay. It is going to ask me what? Tell your name. Then okay, 1 minute. Right. So here what I am doing? I am doing what? Directly I am printing. So better ask for the user. Then it will be what I have to write? Name equal to input of here. If I write, we will get a correct output. Tell your name. Now see. Save. Okay. Right. Now see. Just it is asking tell your correct name. I am going to enter Hari. What happens? It is not allowing me. It is not telling. It is not welcoming me. So again, I will type some Venu. It is not welcoming me. Again, Raju. Not welcoming me. Now, if I type Shiva, what happens? Welcome Shiva. Until your name is going to be Shiva, it will not allow you, or it will not print welcome Shiva. Okay, this is one small example. So now I will make this program. I'm going to add one more. What I can say password to this one. Let us take this one as a username and password. Okay, username and password, for example. So here initially I'm going to take empty. So if password and username and password are correct, then only I can enter into my account, for example. Okay, so I will take that program now. While what I have to take? While username equal to my username is Shiva, for example, my password also Shiva, for example. So what I have to do? Or what can I take? Password. When I can enter, if the both the cases are true, then only I can enter. If username is true and password is false, I cannot enter. If password is correct, username is wrong, I cannot enter. Okay, already we know about this case. So or means what? If at least one is false, we are going to get output as false. My password is also, for example, Ram I am taking. This is my password. Okay, so what I have to ask? First I have to ask about enter username. Enter username. Okay, enter user name, for example. Right now, after entering username, you should also enter what? Password. Password equal to, again here also I'm going to take input of Next what happened? Enter password. Okay, now see. Now see here, if I am going to enter into, if I am going to enter correct username and password only, we are going to get welcome to your inbox. For example, welcome to your inbox. Or we can say welcome to Shiva inbox. Right. Anyway, let us take this one. Now see what happens. Here it is asking for username. So I will give Shiva. No problem. But it is asking for password. Unfortunately, I forgot my password. I think password is Shiva only. Then what happens? It is not going to allow me into my inbox. So again, I will try. Shiva, I am trying. Okay. Then I will try for some Hari, for example. No, it is also not valid. So now what I am doing, I think my username is Hari, for example. And password I am giving correct, that is Ram. Now what happens? Password is correct here, username is wrong. Then also I am not going to enter into my inbox. Now what I have to do, if I give correct details, Shiva and Ram. Now what happens? It is going to enter into my inbox. Okay. So in this way also, we can write a small applications by using this while loop. Okay. Right. This is about while loop. So one thing you have to observe is what? Whenever you know, initially if you know, we have seen what? Two things, two iterative statements. One is what? For, another one is what? While. So when we have to go for while and when we have to go for loop. If you know what we can say, if the number of iterations, for example, if number of iterations is known before writing a program, for example, is known before itself, then you can go for if you don't know, that means what? Until the condition is satisfied, until the expression is false, until the expression is false, we have to execute. Then what happens? Then automatically we have to go for while. You have to understand when we have to go for and when we have to go for while. If you know the number of iterations before itself, then better go for for. If you don't know the number of iterations, but you know the condition, so then we can go for while. Just I will write a small program for this one. That is what our working hours are what? For example, from 9 to 4, for example. So here I am going to take some value. While I am taking some time, I am going to take time equal to, first I am going to take -1, for example. Okay. Here I want to write what? While time not equal to 4, for example, not equal to 4. Then what I have to do? If this condition is true, then I will enter into this one. Then what I have to do? Print. First I will ask for input. Enter some time equal to input of, enter the time, for example, enter the time. So what happens if the time is not equal to 4? Then I have to work. Okay. What I have to tell to the user? You have to work more. You have to work more. For example, now for example, time is 4 now. Time is 4. What I have to say? You can leave. You can leave. Small application. Okay. Right. Now see. Here what happens? This is what, for example, I will take it as a sample example.py. Right. Now what happened? It is asking for a time. Now the time is, for example, 1 o'clock. What happened? You have to work more. Again, it is asking, I want to go at 2:30, for example, or 2. I have written 2 or 2:30, for example. In this way, I'm going to write. So what happens? It is telling that you have to work more. Now the time is 3:55. If I write colon here, it will act as a string, so that I'm not writing colon. So it is saying, it will say me what? Again, you have to work more. Now the time is 4. Then what can I do? Okay, 1 minute. Not equal to 4. It is going to do, when it is going to enter the time, not equal to 4. Then I have to enter into this one. If it is equal to 4, I should not enter. 1 minute. Here what happens? Time equal to -1. Okay. If time not equal to 4, then only I have to enter into this one. Then it has to print this one. Okay, okay. Anyway, this is going to print every time. Okay, no problem. Just I will remove this one. It is asking for 4. I am going to take some looping problem. If I go to this loop, what happens is, check. Let us check here. Time is initially -1. If I ask 4, then it will come to here. 4 not equal to 4. Condition fails. Then it will not enter into this one. Okay, it has to print this one. Enter the time, for example. 1 minute. I'm going to enter 4, for example. Again, it is asking for time. While time not equal to 4. Here,
Sir, convert it into integer. It will take a string.
oh, okay, right. Very good. So here I have to convert it into a integer. Sorry. Yes. Right now, see here, you can understand clearly. You can take one more statement also, no problem here. Let us see here. What happens here? If I take 5, again it is not telling me anything. If I take 4, that will take what? You can leave. You don't know whether it is 5 or anything, but we are going to mention what? Not equal to 4. If not equal to 4, it will not give any response. If it is equal to 4, then we can write what? You can leave. Otherwise, we can also make it as what? Greater than 4. No problem. Time is greater than 4. Then what happens? Let us take greater than 16. 16 means what? Evening 4, for example. 16 means evening 4. So, okay. Time is minus, okay. Greater than 16. 1 minute, please. Okay, anyway, let us take only 4. I will not make the things complex. Okay, this is the example for our while loop. Okay, so now I want to show you some nested loops. This is about a loops. These are about a loops. If we know the number of iterations before itself, then we have to go for what? For loop. If you know the condition until the condition is true, if you want to do that thing, then we have to go for while. When the condition is going to be false, automatically we have to come out of that loop. Then we have to go for while, right? Now let us go for nested loops. Okay, this is very easy concept. Nested means what? One inside another. So for example, I'm going to take here for is there. Inside this, if I'm going to write for. So for example, I want to print some elements. For example, I in range of some 3. I in range of 3 and for j in range of 3. Now what happens here? Compulsory this should be understood by you. Just I am going to print I value and j value, for example. To make you to understand, I'm going to print I equal to I, and next what can I do? Comma j equal to j. Okay, right. Now see here what happens means, first what happens, I value is from where to where it is going to execute. Range of 3 means it will execute from 0 to 2. In the same way for j also it will execute from 0 to 2. First what happens means, for 0 value of I, this for loop will execute. Sorry, For I value equal to, listen carefully, this is entire things comes under this for loop. This entire thing comes under this for loop. That means for 0, this entire thing has to be executed. So how many times? Again, for example, this is 0. I will come here. J value is what here now? Initially 0. Then again it will come into this one. It will print what? J value, I value is what? 0. Next, J value is what? 0. Next, before going into this loop has to be ended. Now again it comes here. Now value is what? 1. Now what happens? I value is 0 only, but J value is 1. Again it comes here. I value is 0 only, J value is 2. Completed. Again it comes here because range of 3 means what? It will take only up to 2. That means this loop is completed. Again we are going to here. Here what happens? I value is going to be 1 now. So now what happens? I value equal to 1. For 1, again what happens? J equal to 0, J equal to 1, J equal to 2. Completed. Again it comes here. I value is what? 2. It takes what? I equal to 2, comma, J equal to 0, and so on up to I equal to 2 and J equal to 2. This is meant by a nested loop. For small example I will take. Generally these nested loops are going to be used in your pattern printing patterns. Okay, I will take 2 more examples for patterns also. Now see here, just I will take only for loops and nested loops. 2 for loops I will take. For I in range of, just I will take 3. Right now in for loop I can take one more, J in range of 3. J in range of 3. So now see, just I want to print what? I value and J value. So I equal to, where is the I value? In I. And next I want to print J value also. So J, so just I will take what? J equal to J. Now let us save this program. I will execute this program. Sorry. Okay, comma here we have to write. Now see here, what we can observe? 0, 0, what we have seen here, same thing we can observe. 0, 0 to 2, 2. So 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay. This is about nested loop. So generally where we are going to use this nested loops means in the pattern programs. Okay, just I will take one small pattern and I want to execute that pattern. That is nothing but see here, I want to take a pattern that is nothing but equilateral triangle, for example. That is what? Star, 2 stars, 3 stars, for example, of 4 stars and 5 stars. This is what? This is considered as what? Right angle triangle, I think so. Okay, this pattern I require. So I will, a small 2 steps will be there for this one, which is very easy to understand. Okay, right. So here one thing we have to observe here, how many dimensions are there? This is 1 and this is 1. 2 are there, so that we have to go for nested loops. One is I can consider this one as what? Rows and columns. So for rows I have to take one for loop, and for columns I can take one more for loop. So nested, that means what? In row 1 how many columns are there? In row 2 how many columns are there? In row 3 how many columns are there? In this way I have to consider. So I will write a small program and I will explain that. For just I want to print those things. Okay, okay, let us ask the user to enter those things. Okay, n value, int of, for example, input of, enter, I want to ask what number of rows, enter number of rows. If you want 5 rows you can take, or 6 rows also you can take, a number of values you can take here. Now for I in range of, so first we have to understand this concept, then you can get a clarity. I in range of 1 to n plus 1, 1 comma I will take n plus 1. Here we have to understand one thing. 1 to n plus 1 is nothing but what? Range means what? It will not take to n plus 1, it will take only up to n. That means what? N plus 1 minus 1. Otherwise I will take a small example. 1 comma 10. If I write 1 comma 10 in range, what happens? It will take only up to 1 to 9. In the same way, if I take 1 comma n plus 1, it is going to consider up to where? 1 comma 1 to n plus 1 minus 1. That is nothing but n only. So that I have taken in this way. Now, how many stars has to be printed for every time? For that, I am going to take here. 1 minute. Let us take this one as a I here. Okay. Next one I will take J. This is for number of columns in range of. If you are unable to understand also, I will explain once again, no problem. I comma I plus 1. So that just I am going to print what? Print how many times I have to print? I number of times, for example. So what thing I have to print? Star. Star I have to print how many times? I times. So into I can write into I. So now just I will execute this one. So just I will take 5 value. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. Okay, see here, some logic is missed here, I think. So what happens? 1 is printed how many times? 1 time. 2 is printed how many times? 2 times. 3 is printed 3 times, and so on. It has printed. So here I have to check a small logic here so that we will get a clarity. Let us see once slowly here. Okay. Okay, into I have written. Sorry. Generally, what is into I plus 1? Okay. First, I will explain the logic so that you will get a clarity here. Right. Now see here, how many rows I want based on this, the rows are going to be generated. So for example, 5 I require 5 rows. In first row, what is there? Only 1. In second row, only 2. In third row, I require 3. Next row, I require 4. In next row, I require what? 5. So how many rows are there? 5 are there. So I have taken from 1 to n plus 1. The meaning of this one is what? Let us take 5 here. 5 plus 1, which is nothing but what? 6. So the value of this one is what? 6. So if I take 1 to 6 in range, it will give me up to what? 5. So we got this one by this statement, no problem. But now here one has to, in first row, 1 has to be printed. In second row, 2 has to be printed. That I have to decide here. So first basic thing is what? Base is what? 1. So 1 is, I have taken here 1. I plus 1. What is the initially I value? 1. So first time what should be happen? 1 plus 1. How many times 1 plus 1 is nothing but what? 2. 1 to 2 is nothing but what? 1 to 1 only. That means how many times it is going to execute? Don't worry. I will repeat this thing slowly here. Listen carefully. So if this is rows, how many times? 5. Completed. Now here j in range of I comma, 1 comma I plus 1. What is the I value initially here? 1. So 1 plus 1 is nothing but what? 2. If range of 1 comma 2 is nothing but what? We are going to consider only 1 to 1. 1 to 1 is nothing but what? Only one value. So that it will print only, this loop is going to be continued only one time. So 1 star is printed. Next, what happens here? Next, this loop is ended. Again, I will go to this for loop. Then it will consider what? 2. I value is what? 2 now. And again, it will come to here. J in range of 1 comma 2. Sorry, 1 comma 2 plus 1, that is 3. 1 comma 3, that is nothing but what? 1 to 2. That means 2 times it will execute. That is for 1 and 2. So first time it will print what? Already 1 star is printed here. Second time what? First loop, 1 star is going to printed. Again, this is repeated for second time. Okay, completed. So next what happens? This is completed. Next it will go to here once again. I value will be what? 2. Sorry, I value will be what? 3. Now we will come to here. J in range of 1 comma 4, because what? 3 plus 1 4. But it will consider only up to where? 1 2 3 only. How many times the loop is going to be executed? 3 times. So first time 1 star, 2 stars, 3 star. Completed. Next loop 4. Next loop 5. In this way, we are going to get the output. Let us see this one by executing the program. Okay. But also here, one thing you have to understand, that is what? If I print every time separately, what happens? It will go to next line. But I want to print side by side, no? So that I will take what? End equal to, for example, I will take some space. and after completing this one, in next loop what happens, it has to go to next line. That means what, first I have taken what, first when I am going for this loop, first loop, it has to print only one. Okay, next time what happens, if I am not going to write this one, it is going to be printed. But what is the case, in this way it has to print side to, for printing side by side, I have taken this one, this end. But to print, see here, first one, next one where it has to print in second line, for that I am going to take this print now. Okay, now this print is going to write only for what, new line. Okay, I will execute this program. Right, now see, I am going to write 5. What happened, we are going to get 5 rows, and based on the logic we got what, in the equilateral triangle, sorry, not equilateral triangle, right angle triangle, I think. Okay, right angle triangle, not equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle is nothing but what, all sides will be equal anyway. So I will give another value here, for example 4 I have given. Okay, no problem. For example 10 I am going to give. So see, okay, so it is about what we can say, one small example pattern program. So same thing can also be written in one step. Same program can also be written in one single step only. Just I will ask, 1 minute. Okay, just I will ask user to enter number of rows. So after that, just I will take here I comma. Okay, sorry, this is what I will take 1 comma n plus 1. I will write in the same way, but while printing, what I am going to do, first I value is what, 1 time, so 1 star will be printed. Okay, just I will write I into, sorry, star into, I am going to write I. That means how many times first time it is going to print, first I value is what, 1. So 1 time star is into returns what, repetition operator. The same string will be repeated I number of times. First time I value is what here, 1. So star will be printed 1. In second case, I value will be 2. 2 times it will be printed. Let us see. So see, 5 I have asked, same output. Next one is what, for example, if I ask any value, it is going to give you, no problem. Okay, so this is the alternative for that program.